Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Ark Survival Ascended. And today, I'm in a cave. The final cave that I need to run in order to go ahead and get every single artifact here on Valguero. Now, truth be told, I've actually already ran this cave, but I ended up running it with my Reaper after attempting to run it with my Mega Raptor and my Deinonychus and my Zomdodos, of which I lost all but one of them. I have the log over here, where, as you can see, we lost 4 of them over here, so it didn't exactly go well, but seeing that I ran through it with my Reaper, for the most part, I just didn't really feel satisfied with it, and I felt that I didn't really complete the cave, in a sense. I decided that I would head back to base, get more equipment, more ammo, more grappling hooks, and some grenades, so I can run this cave on foot, which I think is probably the way that the cave is intended to be completed. So, we're gonna try that, and honestly, I'm not sure if it's gonna work. This cave has got some really bad stuff in it. It's not too long, but what it has in here, well, to be perfectly honest, it terrifies me. We got Yetis, polar bears, and direwolves and Perlavias all at cave levels, which, if you've been through the island snow cave, you know is incredibly dangerous. So I don't really know what's through there right now. I only see just the head of this Yeti, so I think we're going to start simply by taking his head off. But I think first I want to go ahead and put my wyvern back outside. And if it decides to chase me down, I can use my wyvern if it heads out of the cave. But yeah, when I ran here with the Reaper, at first I kind of just wanted to get the cave done, but honestly, after a while, I just felt that it felt a lot like cheating to me. So I'm going to go ahead and try it on foot and see if I can pull it off. But let's just go ahead and start. Oh, he's eating. Go. So hopefully that should count as a headshot. Hopefully it's just him. Alright, perfect. He's down. I heard some wolves through there. Looks like it's all alone. That's not normal, because there's a bunch down there. I brought some grenades to help me get rid of Perlavias that are buried underground. These explosions can pull them out of the ground, so I think I'll start with the Perlavia, pull that by itself, or it'll just fall off. Do the direwolves next. Okay. I'm gonna have to slowly progress down. Like I said, this cave isn't very big, so there's not too many creatures in here, but what is in here is really powerful, so I wanted to make sure that I had a lot of ammo, and more importantly, I wanted to have a bunch of grappling hooks so I could go ahead and jump around for my own safety. Want to run around with nothing equipped just so I can block a Perlavia if it jumps at me. Let's see what's down here. 4 Perlavias and a Gigantopithecus. Or a Yeti, I guess. I actually found this cave by tracking Gigantopithecus, thinking that there might be, Yetis in here. I was killing a bunch of Poseidons back when they gave a bunch of experience, which they've since patched, so if you're going to go out and kill them, unfortunately, if your server is up to date right now, they patched that. They no longer give tens of thousands of experience per kill, so that doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. But sorry, it's hard to talk and try and focus on aiming and taking things out. But anyway, I found a cave that was over by where the Giga spawns, and I decided that, oh hey, this could be the final cave I need to go through. But when I went in there, there actually wasn't anything. It was just a little cave, I guess, just for cosmetics, so I decided to go ahead and just look around and see if I could find another cave in the snow, and thought that in the snow it might have things like yetis and bears, and I figured if I track Gigantopithecus, it might pick up yetis, and it's not like there's going to be any natural Gigantopithecus up here, so I was able to find the general area where this cave was, and after a while I actually found the entrance. So, I will admit, I use the gene scanner too much. I've honestly felt that since the first day I picked one of these things up, but honestly, going back to not using it, I don't think it's something I could ever bring myself to do. I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where it's so incredibly helpful that not using it is really, it just feels like a stupid idea, so as much as sometimes I do feel that it's too overpowered, I feel like that's more of an issue of they just shouldn't have added it in the first place than I'm using it too much. So, I have a weird way of thinking through what's cheating and what isn't cheating, in case you haven't figured that out yet. I guess I just sit up here and try and clear out as much as I can. Oh, I did not mean to hit the bear. I'm hoping that I can get things to run up here so that they'll be a little bit closer. So I can try and use my shotgun, but I don't seem to want to. I wonder if there's another spot around here somewhere that I could hop onto that they can't. Be really careful that none of them end up harvesting something. Here, let's try this. Just want to see if there's another ledge around here that I could hop onto. I guess I could hop down there. Let's try it. Love the slow fall that the Drakelings give. Let's see. Yeah, that wasn't a headshot. Actually, it may have just been because of the mate boost. Jeez. Yetis are so tanky. Brings back memories of doing the snow cave on the island. That's it's a pretty difficult one, I gotta admit. But it's manageable. I've been able to do it a couple times. Let's see. I keep thinking that Perlavia's corpse is a living one. Uh-oh. That could have gone bad. Thank goodness for slow fall. Okay, I think that's all the bears. Not again. What'd I get? Oh, that's a salmon. Got really confused for a second. It's kind of blocking my view. She's 260. Hopefully this is giving me some good XP for my Drakeling. Though I'm not really sure what I'm gonna give it to. Let's see. Nope. What's that ammo? Another bear. I feel like I'm missing a Yeti. I don't like. Oh yeah, there he is. Is that Perlavia or obsidian? I think that's obsidian. Wait for that bear to get down here before I start shooting at him again. There we go. Oh. There we go. Okay, I think we should be clear to proceed to the next room. Let's make sure I don't pass out from starvation. I don't know if anyone else has had this, but I'm so used to Survival Evolved putting in... Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm so used to Survival Evolved putting an icon in the bottom right whenever you were starving or dehydrating that throughout my time playing Ascended, I have really struggled with knowing when I'm dehydrated and starving because I'm so used to seeing that icon just pop up, but now I don't notice that, and so I'll constantly just end up passing out because I didn't even realize that I was starving or dehydrating. I don't know if this is true, but I also feel that they, made the effect of gaining torpor, the little purple ring that shows up whenever you're starving or dehydrating, I feel like that effect is smaller than it used to be, which I think is only added to the, I guess, difficulty of me being able to tell when I'm starving. Getting a little bit concerned that one of these bears are going to be able to climb up here. Yep, corpse got in the way. Bears not have a head jump? That's weird. Get that Perlavia. Alright, we're almost done here, though. First artifact is almost within reach. Just gotta clear this room out, then we'll be good. I didn't mean to pull the Yetis in just yet. I know this won't do any damage, but let's do that. Honestly, I kind of wish that grenades did a percentage damage. I just feel, I mean, I don't know if they're any good in PvP. I don't play PvP, and honestly, I don't plan to ever play PvP. But I don't see how they could be that good, aside from breaking into bases, but, I mean, that's what C4 is for, right? I don't know. One issue I've always struggled with this game is I try to understand how the PvP world works, and I just can't. I've wanted to actually submit a creature to some of the creature votes for quite some time, but seeing that I have no experience in PvP, and I don't know anyone who has experience in PvP, I really don't know how to try and balance a creature to make it helpful in PvP. You know, I can take guesses as to how it would be played, but I don't know, I feel like without personal experience in it, or knowing someone who has personal experience in it, I'm not really qualified to go ahead and try and make something useful for it. But I also just struggle with making the creatures have just decent abilities. I mean, everything that's been introduced to ASA, I mean, there's some of the creatures have been pretty normal, and they're not too out of the box, but some of them, it's like, I don't know how people come up with ideas for these things. I mean, just the recent winner for Genesis Part 1, it's like, an octopus is like, okay, that's not too crazy, but an octopus that's whole thing is making potions, it's like, I don't know how people come up with this kind of thing. It's just not something I'm good at. Always had trouble with making real animals do very not real things. Oh, nuts. Should have picked them up. Should have picked them up or left them on neutral. I don't actually know how I'm going to get home now. Fortunately, I do have a pair of wyverns that I can use to go ahead and make me a new one with the same stats, but I just want to quickly check, make sure. I guess I have Sapphire. I can use her to get me home. It'll just take a bit longer. Okay, I believe there should be some things in here now. Yeah. Honestly, just aggro it all with a grenade. And I will head up here. Did I miss? I thought that would have landed perfectly on top of everything. That's one way to do it. I'm a little bit concerned though that this isn't gonna work, so I'm gonna set that up just in case. Just in case something can climb up here. I'm not gonna rule it out. Thank you for putting your head right in the path of my shotgun. Yeah, so anyway, I'm trying to figure out where I even was on my tangent, but I don't know. Pretty sure it was something about community vote creatures, but yeah. Something I wanted to do for a while, but I feel like it's just outside my skill set. I'm not a very creative person. I've wanted to be, but I have difficulty with things not being realistic, especially when you're looking at a real creature. Just makes it difficult for me to try and find something, because I want it to be something that's at least relatively believable. It kind of fits the creature itself, but at the same time, it's like, I need it to be something that stands out. I mean, it's not like anyone's just going to take another dinosaur that does exactly what you'd think it would. So, and I want it to be interesting. I mean, I want to be able to enjoy using it. You're still tethered, so it's the bear. There it is. No, wrong one. Is it coming out here? Oh, yep, there he is. Honestly, I did not know that you could just do this and just have a grappling hook and just stay up in the air with one. It's kind of overpowered, honestly. I've honestly really wanted to run every cave in the game on foot, but I've always been afraid to because, I mean, caves are difficult, and this game is obviously meant to be done with a bunch of creatures, so doing it without them, I mean, it's just not the way the game's exactly meant to be played, so. But I've always wanted to be able to run the caves by myself without having any creature assistance. I honestly really like just combat just without being on creatures. And I really wish that they had more weapons, particularly weapons that were useful, especially in PvE. I remember being incredibly excited when the explosive spear came out, because I thought it was going to be amazing, and then when I actually used one, I was pretty disappointed. Wait, can Perlavians hit you through a shield? I thought a shield blocked them. Oh well. My armor's too much for it to handle anyway. Now I'm gonna snap my line. But anyway, first artifacts in here. Took me, oh my goodness, it almost took me 20 minutes to get in here. Oh well. I'm just stuck rambling. That's just something that happens. Been trying to get better at it, but oh well. Anyway, first artifact down. We only got one more to go. And then I'm finally done with all the artifacts here on Val. Which, I only need, I think, 4 of them in order to fight Alpha Grendel, which I'm going to be fighting Grendel on Alpha. At least, I want to fight him once on Alpha. I might end up fighting him on Gamma just to get the other, banner I'm going to need for the trophy room. So I might end up just fighting him on Gamma just to have it be a nice and quick fight. But we'll see. See how that goes. The other artifact is over here. Down through this tunnel. Again, you're going to need a couple grappling hooks. And you could definitely make this jump, and I could probably do it myself, but honestly, with my gear, I really don't feel like risking it. And I have enough grappling hooks that I can just make it across. Did I kind of get pulled back and almost fall down? Or is that just me? Maybe I'm going crazy. But anyway, yeah, let's get out of here and we can take this back to the treasury room, and we can go ahead and check out all the artifacts all together. Finally go ahead and close this chapter in the story of me going through Val. Just have to get out of here. Fortunately, there shouldn't be anything. Yeah, everything's dead. Only thing left is that one Yeti. Level 275 with Athletic 1. Well, they'll all be back anyway. Fortunately, I won't need to come back to get the artifacts all over again. I still need to go through the Bird Mother Cave, as well as the Lost Temple Cave, I think, to get the artifacts a second time from those two caves. But anyway, I am going to go head back so we can go drop off these artifacts. So I will bring you guys back when I'm all the way back at base, and I guess I'll have to also go ahead and breed up a wyvern while I'm there, so I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Alright, back at base. Time to go ahead and drop off the artifacts. Also need to go ahead and drink some water real quick. So do that on the elevator right up there. And I put the other copies that I already had in the pedestals, but I didn't actually equip them, so we're gonna put Artifact of the Cunning over here. Why is it not just letting me? There we go. There it is. It's weird. It's a lot more purple in person than it is in here, but I'm glad I put it over there. Then we have Artifact of the Destroyer over here. Took me forever to find this one. I remember seeing this one out in the open world back on Evolved and thinking it was going to be there here on Ascended, but they moved it. They've added a lot of caves, and honestly, I've really liked that. I've liked that they put them all in caves, but it does make it a little bit annoying to find these artifacts all over again, find these caves. Especially because both of them are pretty well hidden. If I didn't have a gene scanner, I don't know if I would have been able to find it without looking it up. But yeah, the artifact section of the trophy room is finally complete. Finally got all of them. I do need to get a few extra copies, but I'll be able to do that eventually. The Broodmother side's done, meaning now we're just waiting for Grendel and then the mutation creatures. So hopefully I'll be able to get some of that done soon. Before I end this one off, I just want to quickly go over some updates as to how everything's going. First of all, I finally got the last stat that I need for Deinonychus. So I'm currently pairing up the health and melee stat, and then I'm gonna pair it with this one, which has somehow both the stamina and weight stat on it. Very lucky find. I have all the traits I have for them, and I have all the stats that I need for Mega Raptors, but I still need some traits, so I'm waiting to see if I can go ahead and get any better stats. I actually saw 150 on my way back here, and I'll have to go tame that at some point. And Elder Claws are almost done. We're currently sitting at 1919, but unfortunately I'm still trying to get some nice colors for them, so who knows how long that's going to take. I'm going to hopefully try and do that while I'm also working on Deinonychus and maybe Mega Raptors. But yeah, seeing that most of what I have left to do is mutation projects, it's going to be, episodes are going to be a little bit more scarce. I do have one more big one planned that will maybe be coming out tomorrow, maybe a couple days from then, but I've decided that I really want to go ahead and prioritize just making videos that are actually good ideas instead of just trying to make videos just to have them exist. I tried going for a schedule and just trying to upload episodes every single day that I thought, but unfortunately, Ark is just the kind of game where you can't really rush things, and coming up with random things to just make an episode on, it just doesn't really work, so I'm kind of tired of making all of these episodes that I really don't feel matter that much. I mean, I didn't need to do a lot of what I did, and I definitely didn't need to make an entire episode devoted to doing what I did, so I'm hoping that the next one will be, well, I guess that'll be revealed when it comes out. But I'm hoping that by this time next week, I should hopefully be able to have the Elder Claws finally done. I've been saying that a lot, but really it has been an absolute pain to mutate them, and honestly, it's made me pretty sluggish doing it. I mean, when it's such a difficult and tedious task, and I didn't really even know if I was going to be able to complete it, and when I heard that they might not even be able to handle Grendel, I kind of lost a lot of the motivation to do it. But I'm trying to go ahead and fix that, and I want to go ahead and get Deinonychus and Megaraptors done before Lost Colony comes out. And while I'm expecting it to get a delay, as of the time of recording, I have less than a month to go ahead and get everything done before then. And I want to be able to have the mutated creatures sitting in a cryo ball to gain some XP before I go to the fight. So I'm going to need to go ahead and give them a bit more time. So I really need to go ahead and get working on things. And I'm trying, and I feel like I've been making good progress, but I do apologize that episodes recently haven't been that great, and that it's been so long for me to go ahead and get most of these things done, but it's difficult. It's a difficult and tedious game, but I love it, and I really hope that I can continue making this stuff. I've really enjoyed it, honestly, so I'm hoping that I can keep going, hopefully through Val into Lost Colony, and maybe even further if I end up still liking it. But yeah, I'm hoping to get Deinonychus and Megaraptors done and ready to mutate soon. Elder Claws should hopefully be done by this time next week. But yeah, I think that's really all that needs to be said right now. Just try and catch you guys up on what's going on this end, and go ahead and try to apologize for things not being as nice and up to what I'd hope that they'd be. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and keep it all updated and show that I'm actually trying to work on things behind the scenes. I'm not just going ahead and keeping it all behind. I'm trying to work on it, and I will try to do better. But yeah, I'm really excited to go ahead and get these Elder Claws done. I really want to know if it was worth all of the effort. Not only taming them, but going ahead and mutating them. It's going to be really interesting to see if it was all worth it in the end. If they will be able to fight Grendel and actually win. I need to actually figure out, you know what, here, I can test this right now. I want to see if veggie cakes work on them. I'm pretty sure they're omnivorous, seeing that they are a bear. So I would think that veggie cake should count. But I'll just quickly damage this one a bit. That should be more than enough, right? Yeah, that should be way more than enough. So hopefully if I give it a veggie cake... Oh, goodness. Yeah, all the dragon hordes were giving me a lot of consumables, so... Okay, hopefully... that didn't actually go up that much. I'll give it one more just to be sure, but I feel like that didn't go up, like, hardly at all. Let's see. Still on cooldown. It should go up. I mean, I'm guessing it'll go up by at least 100, probably 200. Let's see. What if I force feed it? It didn't even go up at all. Maybe they don't work on Elder Claws. Well, that's not good. Anyway, yeah, I'll have to find some way to try and help him out in the arena. Grendel is supposedly one of the hardest boss fights in the game, though. From what I understand, a lot of the reasons for that is because of the minions he summons. I mean, Deinonychus can do bleed, which isn't great, but Deinonychus' bleed is partially impacted by the Deinonychus' damage, so it's not like it's a strict percentage-based bleed, from what I remember. It does have some bit to do with the Deinonychus damage, unlike a Giga's bleed, which is strictly based off percentage. I'd be a lot more scared if he summoned Gigas or Thylas. But honestly, the one that terrifies me the most is the vulture. Vultures can damage you even when you're on a mount, so my backup plan currently is that if I go in there, I'm going to start by going in with a bunch of Elder Claws and a Utai, and if I fail, especially because of the vultures, I'm going to go ahead and get a Stego, which will protect me from the vultures, and I'll be able to stuff it full of veggie cakes to help keep it alive. And if I remember correctly, you can use a weapon from the back of a Stego, so I can even bring in, like, my shotgun, so I can do a bunch of damage to Grendel myself. I believe Alpha Grendel has 600,000 health, and I'm not going to go through the calculation of how much damage my shotgun does, but I feel that with a couple hundred shotgun shells, it's probably enough to take him down. And I think I actually have a good Stego saddle blueprint, right? Maybe not. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. 118. That's pretty good, honestly. That will be able to take a good amount of damage. And honestly, if I want to be crazy, I can go ahead and upgrade that a little bit. But yeah, that's the current plan, and yeah, I might even pair up the Gigas and bring in a pair of Gigas, because you can bring the Evo Giga into boss fights, and I mean, the stats on these guys, they're not great, aside from that stamina. That stamina's insane, but they're not exactly great stats, but I mean, a Giga's a Giga. They're powerhouses. There's no way around it. I mean, you don't mess with a Giga. There's a reason why the vanilla Giga can't be brought into a boss fight. They're just way too strong. But yeah, I think that's all I really have to catch you guys up on. I think that's covers about everything, and I'm really excited for the next episode, as it's something that I've really been working on for quite some time, and I'm really excited to be able to show it off. And you might have seen I accidentally showed off a little bit of it a minute ago, so if you noticed, then good on ya. But for those of you who didn't, let's just say it has something to do with some loot that I got, and I have plans to hopefully make it better, but I found some very important loot and how to find some, so next episode we'll go over that, and hopefully I'll get some very sought after rare pieces of loot that I've been looking for this entire series. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one, so thank you all so much for watching. Camera's all the way zoomed out, dang it. Messed it up. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.